महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि महादेवमुदं शिरसा नमामि महागणपतिं मनसा स्मरामि.
And so the predicament of this living here, doing what you are doing, pursuing this artha and kama, either here or in the hereafter, it is all time bound and therefore there is no solution to the problem. And hence, I need to free myself from my judgment, so my notion that I am insecure, that I am unhappy, that I am subject to unhappiness, I am subject to sorrow, and for which there is already a certain apatata jnanam. This is called apatata jnanam, paperback knowledge. When you grow up in a culture, you have a certain knowledge, this knowledge being there. Arjuna asked Krishna, please teach me Shreyas, for which he knew that I should be a sishya. He needs a guru. So the word he knew. What is the word? Shreyas. The word he knew. What he should do also he knew. The word means the end he knew. Shreyas is called moksha. He knew. And for which he has to gather knowledge. Moksha is not something, moksha, people say, I want moksha. Moksha means what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I have to reverse my vision. What is your vision now? It's all duality. Then how are you going to reverse the vision? I want to reverse the vision by looking at the world differently. How are you going to achieve this? Standing on my head. I will look at the world. Reverse the vision. So this is not the way. Standing on your head is good. If you think properly, whenever the people who think properly, if they stand on their heads because there is an asana called shirasasana, they do this, then there is a rush of blood to the brain. And thinking is more. And being a good thinker, therefore something good may happen. Suppose the thinking is wrong, keep the blood supply to the minimum. So because thinking will lead you to trouble. Not only you into trouble, others also into trouble. And therefore, Shirasasanam is not advisable in such cases. This is all clean thing. In such cases, where the thinking is muddled. Muddled thinking. And therefore, so Arjuna knew it is purely cognitive. It is something to be understood. Arjuna knew this because he grew up with that, in that atmosphere where the moksha is pursued by people. And therefore, Arjuna knew that there is need, and also he knew this thing is to be taught. And therefore, he had already a paperback knowledge. And then already he has got paperback knowledge in the modern world, So when you grow elsewhere, so how, even in Madras cities and in big cities in India, you don't have that kind of a knowledge is not there for everybody. So you must pick up some book, in Mathams, some book, something. You pick up something, some book you take. And sure ways to success and self-realization, both. sure ways to success and self-realization, दोनों एक ही book में हो जाता है. You pick up. Success means immediately you pick up. And self-realization was not exactly your tatparyam. When you wanted that book, bought the book, you bought for success. But then self-realization was the package. Then afterwards something was written there, self is immortal bliss, etc. Then you got some interested more. Got interested, more interested. In fact, what did you get was nothing. Gobbledygook is nothing. And so, some interest, this is called paperback knowledge. Apatata jnanam. Otherwise moksha won't be there. Apatata jnanam. Some vague idea will be there. Some more little direction. But Arjuna did not have vague idea. He knew that he needed to have knowledge. Therefore he became a sishya. And he had a guru in Krishna. Therefore, there is vyavasaya. Understand now? There is vyavasaya. This is called purusharthas. So once the purusharthas is there, means you know exactly what you want. And also not only you know what you need to achieve, but then that need is not somewhere in the list, lot of things we need to do. People plan for after retirement also. After retirement, I would like to study some Gita Swamiji. So I have a plan to study Gita very thoroughly after my retirement. Now, of course, I am busy. So after retirement, I want to study Gita. I hear all these nice words. After retirement, he wants to study Gita. Because he has nothing else to do, And then he wants to study Gita. At least after retirement, he wants to study Gita. Instead of taking a mobile, home all over Colorado. So this is so at least the fellow is staying, asking now. I'm planning at least after retirement he wants to study. So you want to study. There should be an urgency here. And your doing work should not deter. Your pursuit, it is something like, it's not one particular pursuit. This is not one desire among many desires. It's not like that. It is one desire which consumes you, and every other desire is within that desire. Understand? You need not do anything about it. You need not drop certain desires. Some desires may get dropped. That's okay. Because you are not dropping. If they get dropped, it's wonderful. You are not dropped. Some desires may get dropped. But certain desires can be there. But they don't really disturb you. And they can be pursued also. But the main conversion of heart has taken place, then you are already taking off. I always give this example. In this, I don't know whether it continues there or not. In London, in the lounge, transit lounge, you sit there, and then you come by Air India, and an hour and a half layover is there, or 2 hours sometimes. You sit there, and there is a board. Suddenly you hear gada gada gada. There is a big board. The board, every time there is a change introduced, it makes a noise. Gada 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 gada. Then you see, look at that, and then Air India is not anywhere. It will come. Then afterwards, so something is taking off now. And something is boarding. So this green light is there, boarding, 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 no boarding, no boarding, no boarding. It goes on, no boarding, no boarding. That goes on for half an hour, no boarding, no boarding, no boarding, no boarding. Half an hour, 45 minutes, no boarding, no boarding. From the time we can understand what is the aircraft. If it is 1 hour, it is 747, okay? No boarding, no boarding, no boarding, no boarding. Then taking off, gone. It's out of the picture. It's gone. So no boarding. Then nothing, Air India is still not there. Vedanta has not yet come in the life. So it is not there anywhere in the picture. It is not even a purushartha. It is not a vague purushartha. Nothing. Then because of the paperback or something, how to achieve success and self-realization, so this kind of a thing somewhere, I think we should know something about this. Don't desire. Some curiosity, desire. It is there, Air India, at the bottom. There are other things are there now, you know. All other desires are there, some of them very predominant, what's going on now. And so this is a big, all negotiations are going on for this, for that, that's all. This is the last one. Then something that he was working for, then there is a big blow, okay? Big blow. He had lost all the stocks or whatever, something kuch na kuch ho gaya. Then afterwards, Air India comes up a little bit. Yeah. Then because he begins to read the same book, How to Achieve Success, and again he reads the book and self-realization, then some shanti he wants now. Air India goes up. And then again, gada. Then Air India still remains there, something else is there. So the Air France is taking off now. And British Air is now boarding, no boarding, no boarding, no boarding. Then again, gada. Then again, you see Air India, one step up it goes. And it has to climb up. There is Alitalia, there is Air France, there is Sishya, there is Delta, there is all these, Northwest, this and that, so many airlines, including Arabic airlines are there, Gulf Air, Air Kuwait, etc. All these fellows climb up and go, then afterwards Air India comes up. Slowly comes up. Then no boarding. No boarding, okay? Air India, no boarding. So it has to climb up. Our desire for this moksha also is like that, very lukewarm in the beginning. Somewhere, is more for psychological problems we take to Vedanta, to solve some of those problems. Afterwards you find, I think, this thing will not work unless you do little psychological work, okay? So that you have to do. Then you leave this for some time and you do that work. Then afterwards you come back again here. But still this remains inside, never goes away. That is what we call you have taken off. Means you are flying. So this no boarding, then afterwards it has to take off. You take off means the whole life. In this you may have different desires in your life. You may fulfill all of them. You may work for all of them. That you are a mumukshu. That you are the one who is committed to solve the problem totally, and there is a method of going about it and everything is available. It's not darting into darkness. It's not just a simple adventure where there is no direction, there is no help, there is no prop, there is no map. It's not a mapless journey. It's a definite journey. I am the solution, and it is available, the teaching is available. Everything is available, therefore it is a very well mapped guided journey. And therefore, so you are not simply just in darkness groping. That was before. Before getting into Vedanta. Before that, when you become spiritual, you start with alpha. Because starting is alpha, you know. So you start with alpha. Means morning you eat alpha sprouts, then evening you eat alpha sprouts, in the lunch also you eat alpha sprouts, and in between some beta gamma you eat, but alpha is the main thing. This is the starting point. Understand? Health food store you hunt, this is the starting point of spiritual life, which is good. And which implies a non-fat, non-dairy, so non-this, non-that. Then this is how you read the calories, you read everything, what is there, what is not there. This is a very, very, very careful living of self-love. When there is self-loath, this is good. Some asanas included. Better. This is better. There's nice dressing. This is, you have some asanas also included. It's wonderful. There is self-love. You start with simple physical body love. It's very, very important. Then afterwards, slowly, you can get into this pursuit, because there are so many people available. Everybody says this is the best way, 100% spiritual success, 100% material success. All that you have got to do, 15 minutes morning, 15 minutes evening. What should you do? Close your eyes, sit there, go deep into yourself with this sound. So this group of sounds. Then what is a group of sounds? It's a meaningless mantra. It's a meaningless mantra. With this meaningless mantra, you go deep, 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 deep. 100% spiritual success. And because of 100% spiritual success, you will have 100% material success. So this is what we come. Because it's all available. It's all in the market. And another fellow says, why all this? Just you breathe for change through your mouth. Then breathe out through your nose. Something different. Something different. You like that also. That's how you live your life. Now somebody makes money out of your breathing, okay? It's wonderful. I love this. So, I love this. Very interesting. Thus you have got different people bluffing different types of people, and thus we have the whole thing is full of them. All of them promise. And the only one who doesn't promise is Vedanta. He doesn't promise that I will make you Brahman. It says you are Brahman. What are you going to do? It doesn't give you a promise. Promise means you are taken for a ride, possible. There's no promise. You are Brahman. There's only a challenge. There's no promise held out. There's only a challenge. I say you are Brahman, you need to prove to me you are not. And you can only ask me legitimately, you prove to me that I am Brahman. That's okay. That's why I told you, I am ready for it. Are you ready? And therefore, that's a challenge. It's different. Then only the flying off takes, the flight takes off. It is something like in psychotherapy, Your therapy, suppose you want to become a therapist. You must undergo therapy. If you want to become a therapist, you better undergo therapy. They won't give you a license unless you undergo therapy. So in state to state in this country, so the rules differ, but everyone has to undergo therapy. How many hours differs? In California, more hours you have to do. That's because you have to deal with Californian minds. It's different. And therefore, here you have to, in Pennsylvania, 300 hours. 300 solid hours you have to have therapy. So 300 hours means you can understand. So many years it takes. 300 hours of therapy you should undergo. The therapist should give you a certificate he has undergone 300 hours of therapy. This person has undergone. Now these 300 hours of therapy, how it is counted? Not from the day one, from the day the transference has taken place. Correct? The transference, when does the transference take place? This therapist is supposed to know. Because the day he begins to blame the therapist, that is the day it started. The day he wants to change the person, the patient wants to change the therapist, transference has taken place. So from that day, 300 hours. Before that, what? It's all useless, just a preparation for that. Therapy has not begun. That day, 300 hours. Pennsylvanian rule. California, more. Understand this. Similarly, Vedanta also, I have been, Swamiji, searching. You count from alpha. Hey, come on. I've been searching for a long time. That's not counted. It can be counted because all's well that ends well. Everything seems to serve a certain purpose. Because the transference cannot take place unless it is preceded by so many hours of trust. Hours of talking to a person with trust, then only it works. And similarly, from alpha onwards, all the paperback books and whatnot, all of them have contributed to the final takeoff. Once you see very clearly, this is the thing to be done, for which there is nothing doing, it is cognitive. I have to know I am what I want to be, and for this the pursuit is this pursuit. We will talk about the pursuit later. This is the pursuit of seeing what I am with the help of a teacher. So Arjuna has chosen that. And therefore, you must know there is vyavasaya. This is vyavasaya. Afterwards, let it take the flight maybe a 24-hour flight, maybe a 12-hour flight. There may be 1 or 2 stops in between. This is called in between. So you stop everything and then go somewhere because you are so tired of this, and therefore you join a Zen monastery. And therefore then this you monastery, this and that you do, it's okay, it's all stopovers. But then this, again you pick up the thread and continue. It may be any number of hours of flight, but it has taken off. That is what they call vyavasaya. This is a very important thing in the whole Vedanta Shastra. And why? Because this vyavasaya includes every other end. That is why this pursuit, moksha ichcha or jignasa, a desire for freedom from a sense of limitation, cannot be fulfilled without the knowledge of the self, and that also should be understood properly. So from desire for moksha, freedom, the conversion to desire for knowing myself, or knowing the truth of the world, or knowing what is God. Any of this is the same. So that pursuit is a quantum jump. Desire for moksha is itself a great thing. And from desire for moksha to be converted into a desire for knowledge, big thing. There are so many things available in the market. Moksha market is a supermarket. And therefore, so that certainty, certitude in your pursuit, this is what I want, very clear, then eka iha kurunandana vyavasayatmika buddhihi eka iha kurunandana. Otherwise, bahu shakakhyanantasya buddhayaha avyavasayinam. Therefore, why? Because even heaven, etc., is useless, Arjuna. Even the Vedas talking about all of them, they are all okay, but they are not the solution. Therefore, he said, Nistrai gunya vishaya vedaha nistrai gunyo bhavarjuna. And he said, you should do not come under this samsara. Triguna means, so Maya, this Trigunatmika Maya. So it's all within this means and ends, everything. All this heaven and going here, achieving this or achieving that, all within the three gunas, means within time. They're all within time. You will find yourself so left behind, so high and dry. So whatever you achieve is gone, or it is not enough. And so this you can learn from your own short life of 40 years, 50 years. You know that nothing is enough. Enough alam buddhi is not there, cannot be there. Because until you reach, cannot be there. And therefore, discerning this, nistrai gunyo bhavarjuna, you become one who is no more under the spell of these three gunas. We will analyze them also later. And thus, Lord Krishna makes Arjuna understand more than what he understood before. When he asked for Shreyas, he did have some understanding. And when he said, I am your sishya, he did have some understanding. He made Krishna as his guru. That also implies that he has some understanding. But never take for granted he has understood all the implications. You have to have a knowledge of all the implications. That is why Lord Krishna in the second chapter talks about the very pursuit itself and who he is to pursue, what type of commitment must be there, all that he makes sure one has it. And now we have a person who is clear about what the person wants. In fact, one becomes more clear when the person begins to understand what is being taught. So then again his pursuit becomes more clear, real. And because you will understand any other pursuit will not give this. And so this pursuit is cognitive. Cognitive self-realization. Self-realization, self-knowledge and all that you talk about. If self-knowledge you require, then why should you look at a book? That's an important question. Why do you look at a book? This is not the self. It's a book. They're all words. It's all intellectual. It's nothing. Then what? So you should look at the self. All right, you tell me how to look at the self. Close your eyes. Look at the self. Because you are looking at the self. You ask the question, who am I? Who am I? Ask the question, who am I? Who is asking the question? The one who knows who am I, or the one who doesn't know? One who knows. Then why should you ask the question? Unless you are off. No, I don't know. Then why do you ask the question, who is to answer you? You have to answer yourself. Already you don't know. How are you going to answer? Who am I? Who am I? Therefore, why should I read the book? It's a very important question. So we will see why.
Mahaganapatin manasa smarami. Mahadeva mudam shirasa namami Mahaganapatin manasa smarami.